I had a special reason for asking you to stay, Edward. I'm very fond of your wife.
Oh, yes, Lila's a fine person, which is another reason we wanted to protect her. She certainly has been my inspiration.
Then you must help her.
Help her? How?
This information that I have regarding Chessler and his wife will, of course, remain confidential with me. But it must be obvious to you that other people could have it. I found out about the blackmailing before you decided to tell me. And if I can find out about it, others must know of it as well.
Yes, I'm afraid you're right. The last thing that Lila needs is headlines with Chessler.
Well, let's hope that by then it'll be all minimized. But in the meantime, I think you should try to prepare her.
Robert, I shall do the best I can.
I expected nothing less from you, sir. And you have been a great help to me.
I am always happy to help her.
I'll remember that. Well, come on in.
Hello, Robert.
Hey, you sweetheart.
I am very concerned about Holly. Ruby is too. So I thought it would be a good idea if I came over and got rid of some of the baby things. That way she won't have to deal with it when she gets out of the hospital.
It's very thoughtful of you. Also, it's an excellent idea. Makes me believe, too, we can get rid of that antique crib at the same time. Perhaps I can find somebody here to come over right away. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you.
Aren't we sneaky?
No, just efficient. But I was about to say, aren't you sneaky?
Are we being taped right now?
Well, we might, but you'll never know.
Well, obviously Monica and Alan Quartermain were here. What about Edward?
Can't remember.
Oh, I'll bet you can. What did you want with them?
Why don't we pack the baby clothes? And one more thing. Whatever you saw in there, forget it.
Edward! Where have you been?
Where the hell do you think I've been? Oh, excuse me, Liz.
Edward, no problem. I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's going on? We were worried out of our minds. Why did he want to see you alone?
Well, he said he wanted to express concern for Lila. I must say the man does seem to be genuinely fond of her.
Oh, well, I'm very touched. But what was the real reason?
Well, you were there. Obviously, he's going to check on Arthur Chesler.
And he's going to find out that there is no such person.
Oh?
Yes, and if he keeps looking for Chessler, he's also going to come across Tolliver, isn't he?
Well, that doesn't necessarily follow. I mean, my man Wharton couldn't locate Tolliver, and he's an expert. I don't think Scorpio's going to find him either.
I'm not talking about finding Tolliver physically. He's going to find out that Tolliver was the person who was married to Mother.
No way. He will check on Chessler, and that's the end of it.
Oh, for Edward. Do you think that Scorpio is going to stop right there?
My dear, I'm a great deal more crafty than you give me credit for being. In other words, there is an Arthur Chesler.
There's what?
What?
Yeah.
Edward, we were all together when you made up the name.
Well, obviously, we should discuss this in detail, but certainly not here. Could we go to your office?
By all means.
Serious? There really is an Arthur Chesler?
Yes, there really is. How many times do I have to remind you, Monica? I'm not exactly a fool.
Want a slug? What ails you?
No, thank you.
So, tell your buddy. Did you solve your dilemma?
As a matter of fact, did you see the paper about Heather this morning?
I did.
See, this is the reason I didn't want to say anything.
That's very wise of you, son. Most prudent. Well, when in doubt, just don't say anything. Works every time. See you.
Yeah, you be careful now.
Okay.
Father, I find it very hard to believe there really is an Arthur Chesler. I mean, after all, the three of us together when you coined the name.
Well, as usual, Alan, you underestimate your father. I came up with the name Chessler because I happen to know the man many, many years ago in the stock market. And fortuitously, his addled wife did kill herself.
Good Lord. Because of Lila?
Oh, of course not. She never even knew the man. But fortunately, Chessler did invest very heavily in ELQ, and that's a distinct advantage for all of us.
Why?
Well, can't you think ahead at all, my boy? Well, Scorpio will check on Chessler and find that he did invest. That supports our story. We're home free.
No, Edward, wait a minute. What if he locates Chessler and decides to question him?
Well, he's not going to get any answers because the man had the good sense to die 2 years ago.
Edward, if I ever doubt your resourcefulness from now on, would you remind me, please, not to?
Well, thank you very much, my dear. However, we do have one very important piece of business to take care of.
Jimmy Lee. Because he's the one person who knows the real blackmail story.
Congratulations. You are thinking like a Quartermain.
Oh, thank you.
Well, wait a minute. Jimmy Lee hasn't said anything so far.
No, perhaps out of some strange Hoosier sense of loyalty, but nevertheless, we do have to make the boy feel comfortable.
Comfortable? How?
Well, we have to make him feel like we accept him. I mean, of course, we can't overdo it, or otherwise he's going to realize that he's being used, but we do have to make him feel wanted, even loved.
Loved?
Just covering all the bases, my boy. I suggest we start our Jimmy Lee Holt campaign right here and now.